Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am so thrilled you're here because today we're going to completely unpack the brilliant setup, the really complex characters, and the absolutely fascinating world of the hit Chinese drama, You Are My Destiny. Our goal here is to break down exactly how this show crafts its narrative. It basically places two complete and total opposites on a direct collision course. We're going to look at the intense pressures they're facing, the seriously flawed relationships they are desperately trying to hold on to, and how the universe, well, it seemingly conspires to just throw them together. Honestly, it's a total masterclass in character juxtaposition and storytelling.
Okay, let's dive right into this. The show's theme song immediately hooks us with this absolutely beautiful lyric. In the great wilderness of the world, I can only see you. And this perfectly sets up the show's core theme of destiny. It asks a really compelling question right out of the gate. How did two people living completely separate lives in a massive, sprawling world end up being the only ones who can truly see each other? It sets this incredibly romantic and fateful tone for everything we're about to explore today.
Part 1. A modern urban fairy tale. So, to really understand how these two characters collide, we first have to understand the world they're living in. It's a modern urban fairy tale, for sure, but it's one dealing with some very real isolation. 24 million. That is the massive population of the modern first-tier city where our story actually begins. And the show makes a very deliberate point here. You can order takeout, you can book a taxi, you can send a message in mere seconds. The communication is just hyper-convenient. Yet the characters we're about to meet are surrounded by 24 million people, and they still feel completely isolated. It's kind of the ultimate paradox of modern city living, isn't it? And it perfectly sets the stage for our first protagonist.
Part 2. The Sticky Note Girl.
Now, what's really interesting about this is her daily reality in the corporate world. It's something a lot of people might, unfortunately, relate to. Consider the exact definition of a sticky note girl, an employee who is indispensable for small tasks but easily discarded by coworkers when she's no longer needed. I want you to think about this for a second. Have you ever felt like a sticky note, maybe at work or even in your personal life? Because Jiaxin is the absolute ultimate people pleaser. Her coworkers literally hand her sticky notes with tasks they just don't feel like doing. So she's running out to buy pan-fried pork buns, fetching dry cleaning for a boss's court appearance, making endless copies. She is incredibly helpful, totally indispensable for the day-to-day operations. But the very second the job is done, she is easily crumpled up and tossed aside.
And the real tragedy here? She is entirely self-aware about the whole thing. Jiaxin states it perfectly herself. I'm like a sticky note, which is helpful but unnecessary and therefore easy to throw away. Wow. This poignant realization of her own lack of self-worth is just heartbreaking. And sadly, this dynamic doesn't magically stop at the office door. She carries this submissive, people-pleasing energy right into her personal life. She's dating a wildly selfish user of a boyfriend named Gucci, who constantly, and I mean constantly, takes advantage of her eagerness to please.
Part 3. The Decisive Executive.
And this brilliantly illustrates why a fairy tale needs contrast. To see the massive chasm between our leads, let's look at the polar opposite of our sticky note girl. On one hand, we have Chen Jiaxin, the submissive admin assistant who can't even get her own coworkers to reimburse her for their lunch. Seriously. And on the other, we have Wang Xiyi. He's a wealthy businessman and a totally ruthless pragmatist. I mean, right in his introduction, we see him flawlessly out-negotiate a group of angry senior factory workers, literally destroying their arguments with pure logic in under 5 minutes. He is a man who is entirely 100% in control of his world.
However, Xiyi does have a weakness: family pressure. If you trace the generations of Xiyi's family, they're the owners of the massive Chen Jiaxin group, a very clear problem emerges. Check this out. His great-grandpa had 3 brothers. His grandpa, 2 siblings. His dad, just 1 sister. And Xiyi, he is an only child. As his grandmother pointedly reminds him, the family business is continuously growing, but the family itself is shrinking. And this puts immense, overwhelming pressure on Xiyi to marry and produce an heir to secure the company's future. This pressure is the main engine driving his current motivations.
Part 4. The Fateful Cruise.
So, we've got two completely different people in a sprawling city of 24 million. How on earth do they meet? Well, it all comes down to a luxury trip with Costa Cruises. This is the parallel motivation that drives both of these characters entirely out of their routines and right toward the exact same physical space. Both of them are trying to use this specific fantasy voyage of Venice cruise to fix their deeply flawed romantic relationships. Jiaxin's goal? She's literally maxing out a brand new credit card to pay for a VIP suite, all just to please that selfish boyfriend Guo Qi, hoping a romantic getaway will finally make him commit.
Meanwhile, Xi's goal is to orchestrate a lavish, almost trap-like proposal to secure his elusive globe-trotting ballerina girlfriend, Anna. Why? So his grandmother will finally leave him alone.
The funny thing is, Xiyi approaches this proposal exactly like a corporate merger. Following the advice of his assistant Anson, he relies on a highly calculated plan. Step 1, wine and flowers. Step 2, courage and impulse. Step 3, get her to say I do with the captain officiating right there on the ship. Anson promises him this strategy has a 100% success rate. It's practical, it's efficient, and you know what? It completely misses the point of actual romance.
Part 5, The Architect of Fate.
Let's move to and see how this builds. Because of course, in a drama all about destiny, 100% success rates just do not exist. This brings us to the inciting incident, the exact moment where all these carefully laid, desperately held plans completely fall apart. Let's track the rapid derailment of Xi's life on the very day of the cruise. In the morning, Anna tells him she's auditioning for the Paris Opera, but she expects to only get a minor role. But then, in the afternoon, the director changes his mind and surprisingly offers her the highly coveted lead White Swan role. The catch? She has to fly to Paris immediately. So by departure time, Anna chooses her career, straight up abandons the cruise at the terminal, and leaves Xi completely stranded holding the ring. His foolproof plan is totally ruined.
And right in the middle of Xi's absolute disaster, fate steps in. It brings him face to face with Jiaxin through a series of increasingly absurd accidental encounters. First, in her rush to please her boyfriend, Jiaxin literally crashes into Xi and soils his pristine shirt. Then, later on, a super frustrated Xi accidentally drops his wedding ring by the ship's pool. Jiaxin, ever the helpful sticky note girl, leaps right into the pool without a second thought to retrieve it for him. So Xi has to pull her out of the water. And the punchline to all this crazy dramatic irony, they realize their rooms are located directly across the hall from one another. They are literally inescapable to each other.
Which leaves us with this really provocative question as we wrap up our explainer today. When your carefully planned life completely falls apart, when the boyfriend uses you or the girlfriend abandons you at the docks, is it a total disaster? Or is it actually just fate clearing the way, stepping in to fix your romantic timing? The setup of You Are My Destiny brilliantly suggests that sometimes you literally have to lose the life you planned in order to find the person who actually sees you. It is such a fantastic premise, and I really hope this breakdown has you eager to see exactly what happens next to the Architect of Fate and the Sticky Note Girl. Thanks so much for joining me.